This evening's meeting of the Finance and Government Committee meeting. I would like to advise everybody present that should the fire alarm sound, you should leave the building immediately by one of the fire exits, which are clearly signposted outside committee rooms. Please only use the stairs. Do not use the lift. The fire assembly point is in the fast car. I would like to advise everybody the fire assembly point is in the staff car park at the rear of Deane House. You should not return to the building for any reason until you advise it's safe to do so. Can I remind everybody to please put their mobiles on silent mode and keep the phones away from the microphones to minimise interference. The meeting will be recorded and live outside. Will get me to speak in a minute. The meeting will be recorded and live webcast, and therefore, when speaking, please remember to speak clearly. As the chair of the meeting, I have the discretion to terminate or suspend the recording or webcasting if, in my opinion, continue to do so would represent the proceeding of the meeting. Recordings and webcasting of conventional items will not take place. Please remember, if you leave the meeting room for any reason, you will not be able to take part in the vote on the item being discussed at this time. Please can I request that when speaking, you make your points as distinctly as possible to allow for the smooth running of the meeting. Please can I also take the opportunity to remind you to be polite and treat each other with respect at all times. For the members of the public wishing to use the toilets, these can be found on the landing immediately outside the committee rooms. Can I request that anyone who has brought a cup or glass into the committee rooms, please can you return it to the kitchen area after the meeting has finished? Right. Apologies. Apologies.
Apologies aside from Councillor Porteous and Councillor Fernandez.
Thank you. Declaration of interest. None. Minutes of the last meeting. That's going to be interesting. I was the only one there. Do we actually vote on this?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Right. As far as what I've read, they're correct. So you have to take my word that I've read through. Yep. Everybody agreed that we could sign them? Yeah.
Yes, well.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. We'll sign them.
Would you mind getting a proposer in?
Sorry?
Would you mind getting a proposer second and then? Sorry, Chair.
Can I propose that? Thank you, Councillor. Seconder, Councillor Ellis. Everybody agreed? Yes.
Thank you.
See what kind of day I've had. Right. Who's dealing with this list of?
So it's just to note the list of receipts and
Yeah.
payments from November to March 2020.
Was there any questions? Yes. I've got a couple. On the parish council, we get these lists every month. Is there any reason why we don't get them here every month?
Because you don't have monthly meetings.
Or bi-monthly?
So you will get them, yeah, you will get them bi-monthly going forward. In our financial regulations is to report on them quarterly, but obviously we will bring it to each meeting.
That's okay. You want them to be accepted, don't you?
Yeah, yes, they're just a note.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you don't want to budget on that?
No, it's
Okay, fine.
the no questions arising. No?
Is the same thing with the income and expenditure, is it?
Yeah.
It's councillor Ellis, I knew.
So, we didn't spend a lot of money last year, so we've got a block that's gone into reserves. Yeah. So that's fine. And where did notionally the 350 grand, where did it wend its merry way to? Did it wend its merry way to into the general mix of things? Or is it gone into a specific?
Yeah, so there was a earmarked reserve budget for the centre improvements, so obviously because the council had agreed to spend some money in that area, so that's put into an earmarked reserve. There was certain earmarked reserve made at the end of the financial year when it's closed down. The general reserves obviously stay as general reserves. Yeah, it was 350,000.
So that's for it. Sorry, the centre, town centre improvement.
The improvement fund, yeah.
Earmarked reserve.
Yes, it's been earmarked, so it can be spent only on
Stuff that's
okay within the plan.
Yeah, thank you.
Which is the depot.
Yeah, so that's where the money from the depot will be coming from. It's the underspending last year.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions? Internal audit. This is, we need to propose it. There's one thing I found strange, that all boxes I thought had to be filled in.
So they have the only way that the audit can be approved is at full council. So it's time for this committee to review it. So once you go through you've got section 1, you will see that there's been ticks put into such boxes and then the figures put in for the accounting statement number 2 as well.
So I've done it at parish council because everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, councillor Byrne.
On the second document, which is the internal audits, the internal audit summary of the year.
Yeah.
You have the responses box which says positive and negative. Do they refer to any particular statements or are they just, I don't quite get what that is.
So that was the internal auditor's review. So it's not in relation to any particular statement box, that's just his.
Okay,
It's
so is
just
that,
his overview.
so what counts as a positive and then negative?
I haven't been given the breakdown of what, because I see there is 3 negatives on C. I haven't been given those details from the internal auditor as of yet, but we can circulate them out when they come through.
Do you know when they're going to come through?
I'm hoping that Calpash has got them, but he's on annual leave at the moment, so most of this stuff went through to him, so I haven't been able to contact him to get them at the moment.
Okay.
Circulate them.
All right, that'll be good. Thank you.
Do any other?
Yeah, no, I was kind of similar to Ed. I was just wondering where we had a negative. Is it like something that we ought to be doing differently, better, or
Yes, you do a
minor,
recommendation.
or whoops a daisy? Because there was one about the trust funds, council met its responsibilities as a trustee. So that would be that weird mayoral fund thing, isn't it? That gives to the poor from or something. And then there's the alderman sphere, and then we've got is that the same though as like where we're acting as a charitable trust? So for example, Galmington playing fields, isn't it? And there's another. There's another one. Is there another one where we're acting as trustees, or is it just those two?
Yeah.
Staple Grove.
Yeah,
Which
we're trustee of the playing field.
got it. So that's those 3. I can't think of it.
That's it. This comes from full council and then the chair of full council is the one that signs them.
Yeah.
We haven't gone to it at the end of this month, haven't we?
So the 30th has got to be done by the 30th of June. Which is why we had to call this extra meeting to review it now, and then there's the extra meeting for the full council next week to approve the annual return statements.
Which is
We had a
That's the annual returns.
recommendation to note the internal audit as council.
Yeah, so just to review the internal audit and consider any actions required in those 6.
Because there's no way that the full council are going to go through these. Be very surprised. So if we don't recommend it. I was proposing these. Thank you, Jessica. And seconder? There. Everybody in favour? Thank you. Thank you. On to that, Nate, am I correct?
7.
7, sorry. New returns for the year to the 31st of March.
So this is for section 1 of the annual governance statement. You see the plots have been populated.
Yeah. So
So it's whether or not you agree with those statements to respond to.
these and I'm sorry, I'm not being thick. But doing it have I got the wrong?
You're on the wrong page, so it's this one.
This is on there.
Yeah, so they have been,
They've all been done.
Yeah.
But the other boxes, I was told.
that's the internal auditors.
And so they haven't done it. So they,
It's on the.
Yeah.
The agenda item
Okay.
before.
just a silly question, if they don't get it done by.
No, they've done that, that was
They've
the one before, yeah.
Not for you, okay.
So,
Yeah, I was told that all
Yes, yeah.
boxes had to be filled. Are there any questions on this one?
whether you agree with those statements to recommend to full council.
Are we happy with them? That's the thing before start. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can I have a proposal, please? Councillor Mathers, please. Second. Byrne, thank you. All in favour?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
The next agenda item is section 2, the implementing statements. All the figures that they're populated in the statement.
Oh, sorry, Ed.
It's okay. Yeah, these figures look, yeah, basically similar to that previous document, so I'm guessing this is just reconfirmed.
Yeah. You have to approve each of these statements in certain orders. So it's got to be statement 1, then statement 2.
Okay. Are there any questions before we? Have a proposal in, please? And a second. Thank you, man. Are we all in favour? And the dates for the periods. The exercise of the public rights. I didn't quite understand this one.
I believe this is basically saying the length of time that we make these figures published to the public and where they can put in any objections, you know, if they think the figure is wrong or something like that.
Yeah, they can ask to review the accounts.
They have to be published for like 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's what you'll need, but we do leave them on the
Oh, okay.
website. So
Yeah.
once the actual accounts are finished and signed off after the external auditor has been, they go onto the website and they're on there.
Okay, cool.
But this is just the exercise in that period, for people to be able to record them, yeah.
This notice has gone on all the notice boards that we own as well.
Okay, that's done.
Once I understand, how many notice boards do we actually have?
I think it's 13, 14.
Area.
Do we have a map with them all on?
Yeah, but some of them are missing.
We've got them listed and all 3 words and I think they might be plotted on parish online.
They are plotted on
Yeah.
Parish Online. But we will have a signage review of all of that.
I know there's 2 in Stable Group, 3.
Yeah.
But
We've
where
got
are they
some
also?
really close in proximity.
So there's 3 of those very close together. Extremely close.
One of them's transfer.
You don't, this has got to be voted on.
Yeah.
Yep. If everybody's happy on it. Yes, Ed,
Propose.
you proposed it, go and second it. Pass. Thank you.
Yeah.
Exclusion.
Yes, that's all.
You need to read from
Yes.
recommendation.
Okay. Recommendations are under the section 100A, brackets 4 of the Local Government Act 1972. The public are excluded from the item of business agenda item 11. On the grounds that it involves the likely disclosure of extent. Starts again. On the grounds that it involves the likely disclosure of exemption information as defined in paragraph 3, respectively, of part 1 of the schedules 12A of the Act, namely information relating to the financial and business affairs and any particular person, including the authority holding that information. Right.
I propose
You propose
the recommendation.
second, please. Okay. Yeah, in favour? Okay.
Okay, I'll switch off the recording as we move into confidential session.